Welcome to the Cutting Edge Health Podcast with Jane Rogers, where we discuss science to help prevent cognitive decline.
From putting a fire blanket on inflammation, to boosting your memory, to getting rid of sick cells in your body, the zombie cells, mushrooms rock. Both medicinal and magic mushrooms can have benefits for your brain, helping to keep it sharp and not plagued with memory issues. In this episode of the Cutting Edge Health Preventing Cognitive Decline podcast, one of our regulars, Dr. Lisa Broyles, shares her wealth of mushroom knowledge with us.
Don't just go in the woods and pick a pretty mushroom. In general rule of thumb, the prettier the mushroom, the more toxic it probably is. A classic example is the amanita, which is the most poisonous class of mushrooms that there is. And that's the one that you see that's got the red cap with the white dots. That's a classic example of an amanita with like Mario Brothers mushrooms, those kinds of things. Don't eat those. Those will kill you. And even mushrooms that are considered safe, like morels that you mentioned, if you go and pick morels from an apple orchard where they have for years sprayed arsenic, you're going to die of arsenic poisoning from that benign mushroom who has absorbed that arsenic from the soil. So you have to be careful about the kind of mushroom and where you gather it. I took a class here locally with a mushroom expert. I highly recommend that you do that before you forage anything. So a lot of these mushrooms have both cognitive benefits and benefits to the body systemically. So just keep that in mind as we're going through. But reishi mushroom, the scientific name for that is Ganoderma lucidum. And I'm going to try not to butcher these scientific names, but the Ganoderma has been very well studied for its benefit for mitochondria. And I think you're probably familiar with what the mitochondria do, but those are the little energy cells that are in every organ in your body. Mitochondria help your muscles to not hurt, help your heart to beat regularly, help your brain to think clearly. So we really need our mitochondria to be functioning effectively. And of all the mushrooms, reishi are the most important for mitochondrial health.
How about lion's mane?
Lion's mane is fun because if you've ever noticed, a lot of mushrooms look like the organ that they're so good for. Lion's mane is the classic example. It looks like a brain. It's even got the little brainy ridges. It's white. It tends to grow high in oak trees. Lion's mane actually helps your brain and your neurons. It improves something called neurogenesis. It helps the nerve cells to actually regenerate after damage. You think about the synergy of the way our body works. If the brain isn't its own organism walking around, the brain needs the musculoskeletal system and the cardiovascular and the respiratory. Your body is a beautiful picture of synergy, and mushrooms work synergistically with the body.